Welcome all. One of the fundamental dilemma in sociology is the dualism between individual and society. Today, we are going to discuss the theory of structuration by Anthony Giddens, which is an attempt to overcome this fundamental dilemma. Anthony Giddens is a renowned British sociologist of this time, and we have seen his academic life, including major works and contributions in the last session. The present session is divided into two parts. In the first part, we will see the concept of dualism, and in the second part, we will discuss the theory of structuration by Anthony Giddens. Now, let us see what is meant by the concept of dualism. Concept of dualism. Dualism is an approach where two elements are considered to be binary opposites. Here, the two elements are individual and society. Individual and society. In sociology, there are a number of binary opposite terms to represent the same dualism between individual and society. For example, the terms such as micro versus macro, micro versus macro, action versus order, agency versus structure are some of the terms which express the binary opposite relationship between agency and structure or individual and society. Anthony Giddens uses the binary opposite terms agency and structure. When we analyze the entire sociological theories, we can see that most of the theories are coming under any one of these two categories. What is actually the dualism between agency and structure? Here, it is an ontological issue. Here the question is how the society is produced and being reproduced. For this question, the structure camp argues that the individual action is completely determined by the structure. That means the structure theories are having a deterministic approach. There are a number of theories in sociology having this perspective. For example, structuralism, structural functionalism, conflict theories, etc. come under this group. When we see the arguments raised by the individual camp or the agency camp, they believe in voluntaristic approach. That means they believe that the entire society is a construction out of individual actions and meanings. The theories having this perspective are symbolic interactionism, phenomenology, ethnomethodology, etc. It is in this context of dualistic argument of constitution of society that Anthony Giddens proposes his theory of structuration. According to Anthony Giddens, the arguments raised by both these camps are only partial truths, because in social life, both agency and structure are inseparably connected, just like the two sides of the same coin. For example, you think about social life, or you think about your days in the CMS campus. Here in this campus, you get a lot of opportunities to participate or to engage in according to your interest or choice. For example, you can make friendship with your classmates or other students in this college, or you can go to the canteen, or you can sit somewhere in the campus and have a chat with your friends, or otherwise you can go to the library, or you can participate or organize various programs or activities of your interest. At the same time, you know that you are pursuing these actions of agency not out of vacuum. You always keep in mind about the rules of this institution, that is structure, as well as the available resources and facilities for you as a student in this campus. That means an individual can exercise his choice or freedom of choice for taking action within the framework set by the structure. That is why Giddens says that the actions of agency get a meaningful form due to the or through the generative schemes of the structure. On the other hand, the actions of agency recreates the structure again. This reciprocal connection between agency and structure in social life, or this simultaneity of agency and action, can be expressed in two axes in a two-dimensional geometric space according to Giddens. This two-dimensionality is expressed by a concept termed as duality of structure by Giddens. Duality of structure. Duality of structure. Here, the term duality is used in a sense which is quite different from that of the term dualism. I think that the term duality is roughly comparable to the concept of Advaita in Indian philosophy, which speaks about the inseparable connection between Atman and Brahman. In Bible also, there is a verse which says that you are in me and I am in you. Like this, Giddens says that the structure is involved in action or agency, and it is through actions of agency structure is recreated. That is meant by the concept of duality of structure. Now, the next question that we have to pose is how this duality of structure becomes a reality. Here, Giddens conceptualizes structure in terms of rules and resources. Structure in terms of rules and resources. Rules means generalizable procedures which guide the actions of individuals, whereas the resources are facilities that provide capacity to perform various tasks. The individual internalizes rules and resources during the process of socialization and becomes part of stock of knowledge. When individuals engage in action, they draw on from this stock of knowledge to construct their lines of action. This internalization of rules and resources ensure similarity of action and thereby the reproduction of structure. Thus, the enactment of rules and resources or the enactment of structure in terms of rules and resources reproduces the objective structure. This dynamics can be expressed like this. Agency or action leads to the reproduction of structure itself. It means that structure is implicated in agency and agency reproduces structure. It does not mean that the reproduction of structure is a mechanical act. Giddens views that an individual during the process of action get abundant chances for innovation and change. That means individual can modify the structure through his agency, but within the framework set by the structure. It is in this context that Giddens says structure is both enabling as well as constraining. Enabling as well as constraining. The connection between rules and resources with social system through various modalities can be discussed in the next session. Now we can have a recap of today's session. The theory of structuration by Anthony Giddens is an attempt to overcome the fundamental dualism between agency and structure. In the place of dualism, Anthony Giddens came up with a new concept called Duality of Structure to express the inseparable reciprocal connection between agency and structure. The enactment of structure in terms of rules and resources leads to the structure again. That means the structure is implicated in agency and agency lead to creation of structure. That means the theory of structuration combines both agency and structure. The process of making of structure goes on through the continuous process of action and interaction, which leads to the process of structuration. Now let us conclude. Thank you.